The grizzly bear is one of the strongest and most ferocious wild bears on Earth. With its massive size and superior strength, it can easily defeat large prey like deer, elk, or even bison. Grizzly bear attacks are often sudden and swift, making it difficult for victims to escape. In addition, they are very patient and cunning, sometimes becoming silent hunters, making their attacks even more terrifying. The combination of the grizzly bear's power and hunting skills creates awe-inspiring yet dangerous moments. Let's explore its spectacular attacks in this video and gain a deeper understanding of one of the most fearsome creatures on the planet. In the deep forest, cunning and courageous wolves always hunt in packs, their sharp eyes tracking every movement around them. But when they encounter a gray bear, a massive predator with overwhelming strength, every ordinary hunt instantly turns into an unbelievable, high-stakes confrontation. The wolves crouch, strike unexpectedly, and dodge the bear's powerful swipes, creating heart-stopping survival moments that keep viewers glued to this wild, unpredictable scene. These encounters are not just survival battles. They also showcase the wolves' extraordinary intelligence, agility, and bravery. By the riverbank, a gray bear is thoroughly enjoying its prey when a hungry wolf approaches to cause trouble. The wolf tries to sneak closer, but the bear's sharp gaze immediately locks onto it, sending the wolf retreating in fear. As it turns to leave, the wolf realizes the gray bear is charging after it. It tries to resist, but quickly flees. In the forest, a gray bear and a pack of wolves compete over a single prey. The wolves growl continuously, threatening the bear, yet it remains calm and patient. When the bear starts to leave, the wolves think it's trying to steal their meal and lunge, but the gray bear stays silent. Finally, as the pack moves away, the bear approaches the leftover prey, only for the wolves to suddenly attack again, provoking the bear into a furious counterattack that slaps one of the wolves in the face. Terrified, the wolves are forced to retreat. The wolf, with its agility and sharp hunting instincts, is always a feared predator in the wild. However, when it faces the grizzly bear, a powerful and authoritative creature, everything becomes incredibly tense. The battles between wolves and grizzly bears are not only bloody battles, but also a clash between pure strength and determination. The wolf, despite its speed and cunning, still faces powerful attacks from the grizzly bear. Both species are relentless, and every movement could decide life or death. These encounters are fierce challenges that even the strongest creatures must be cautious of. A life or death struggle where every strategy and strength is pushed to its limit. In Yellowstone National Park, a grizzly bear is busy burying its freshly caught prey in the thick snow. A pack of wolves sense the prey and moves in. They try to approach, but the grizzly bear, angered, charges toward them. As the wolves grow in number, they face the massive, stubborn grizzly bear that refuses to leave. Eventually, the wolves give up and retreat together. In the woods, a grizzly bear discovers a carcass left behind by another creature. It approaches and begins to feast on the meal set before it. Suddenly, from a distance, a pack of wolves, having picked up the scent of the carcass, approaches. The wolves try to distract the grizzly bear to claim the meal for themselves. After several attempts, the wolves, intimidated by the grizzly bear's massive and fearsome size, retreat, leaving the prey to their enemy with regret. The bison, with its massive size and extraordinary strength, is one of the most powerful animals in the wild. Despite its gentle appearance, it is ready to defend its territory against any enemy, even a grizzly bear. The confrontations between bison and grizzly bears are always intense, as the bison's superior strength sometimes forces the grizzly bear to back down. Each strike is a battle with no mercy, where the grizzly bear tries to use its strength to dominate, while the bison uses its toughness and bravery to resist. These battles are not just stunning action scenes, but also a testament to resilience and fierce survival instincts in the wild. In Yellowstone National Park, a scene unfolds as a grizzly bear chases and attacks a bison. It relentlessly follows, biting and grabbing the prey. The grizzly bear drags the bison across a bridge and into the nearby river. The bison, suffering from the bear's bites, struggles to endure, but too exhausted, it is pushed into the water. The predator successfully brings it down and drags the bison's body to the shore to enjoy the spoils of the hunt. On the prairie, a herd of bison is trying to fend off a predator approaching a calf. A young bison calf has fallen behind and is within the grizzly bear's sights. In an instant, the predator attacks from behind. The grizzly bear grabs the calf and drags it away. By the time the mother bison returns, it is too late to save her calf. On the roadside, two massive grizzly bears are threatening each other. Both bears roar loudly, displaying their teeth, unwilling to back down. Suddenly, they rise up and charge at each other. The two giant bears clash fiercely, biting and tearing at each other. Will they stop or will they continue to fight? On the sandy ground, a fierce battle for prey erupts between two North American giants. The predators clash with raw intensity. After moments of tense struggle, the weaker one is forced to retreat. Prize meal is left to its rival. On a treacherous cliff, a male grizzly suddenly charges to attack a mother grizzly and her two cubs. Without hesitation, the mother grizzly bravely retaliates, charging and biting fiercely to protect her young. In the fierce battle, one of the cubs tragically falls into the abyss. Despite being smaller, the mother grizzly remains undeterred, continuing to fight back. The elk, with its tall stature and majestic antlers, is one of the most powerful and resilient creatures in the wild. However, when facing the grizzly bear, a brutal and powerful predator, the battles become incredibly intense. The elk not only relies on speed to escape, but also uses its sharp antlers as a weapon of defense. Nevertheless, the grizzly bear's strength, with powerful swipes and ferocity in every attack, forces the elk to fight for its life. These encounters are not just a test of survival, but also an intense showdown between two natural warriors. We can't take our eyes off the powerful collisions, where every strike and every sprint can determine life or death. On the hillside, a grizzly bear runs quickly down the hill, its target being the elk below. When it gets close to its prey, the bear suddenly stops to observe. The massive presence of the grizzly bear catches the attention of the elk, but they remain calm and continue to stand there. After a moment, the grizzly bear runs down the slope, moving quickly toward the herd of elk, causing them to scatter in panic and flee. When the grizzly bear gets closer, the elk all run away. On the mountainside, a male elk faces the giant grizzly bear. As soon as the elk turns its back and begins to leave, the predator charges. But the steep mountain path causes the grizzly to fall, allowing the elk to jump into the river and escape, although the grizzly follows immediately after. On the meadow, a herd of elk seems to be fleeing from some attacker, their eyes scanning the area warily. Suddenly, a grizzly bear charges toward them, causing them to scatter in panic. But with its heavy body, the bear can't keep up and eventually gives up, leaving the elk behind. Across the vast forest plains, massive and agile elk move cautiously to avoid danger. When the gray bear appears, the peaceful scene instantly turns into a tense survival arena. Spectacular chases unfold as the elk use extraordinary strength and speed to dodge the bear's powerful strikes. Every sprint, every thrust of the elk is a desperate effort to protect its life. These face-offs leave viewers breathless, syncing with the heartbeat of the wild. The gray bear is powerful, but the elk are smart and courageous, creating unbelievable battles. These confrontations are not just survival struggles, they showcase the elk's strength and remarkable resilience in the deep forest. On a hillside, a grizzly bear sprints down fast, targeting the elk below. As it nears its prey, it pauses to observe. The imposing presence of the grizzly catches the elk's attention, yet they remain calm, standing their ground. Moments later, the grizzly races along the hillside toward the elk herd, scattering them in panic. By the time the bear reaches them, the herd has fled entirely. In the meadow, a herd of elk migrating together encounters a gray bear in pursuit. The entire herd panics and flees as the bear gives chase. One young elk, unfortunately, is caught despite its desperate attempts to escape and fight back. On the grasslands, a herd of elk seems to be fleeing from some predator, their eyes scanning the surroundings warily. Suddenly, a grizzly bear charges from nowhere, sending them into a panicked stampede. But with its heavy body, the bear cannot keep up and eventually gives up, retreating. The deer, with its gentle and graceful appearance, is often known as a calm animal, but don't let its frail exterior fool you. When faced with a grizzly bear, these deer can display unexpected strength and incredible courage. The encounters between deer and grizzly bears are not just territorial disputes, but life and death battles where every movement could determine survival. Although deer are easy prey for grizzlies, they can still find ways to escape or even counterattack cleverly. Each battle between them is intense, making nature even more dramatic and captivating. In the forest, a mother deer is caring for her newborn fawn. Suddenly, there's a noise, and a grizzly bear appears, making the mother deer panic. Wanting to protect her fawn, she tries to run, but being too weak, she cannot get her fawn to escape. In the end, she runs away, leaving the fawn behind. The grizzly bear charges forward, tearing into and finishing off its prey. In a lush green meadow, a grizzly bear is foraging. Nearby, two deer are feeding, and as soon as the grizzly bear approaches, the deer notice and quickly flee. The grizzly bear misses its chance and turns away, leaving. The bison, with its massive body and overwhelming strength, is always one of the most powerful animals on the plains. However, when facing the grizzly bear, a massive and brutal predator, their encounters become battles of intellect and strength, with no mercy. While the bison boasts a sturdy body and powerful charges, the grizzly bear does not easily relent, with brutal swipes and terrifying persistence. These battles are contests between two forces of nature where every strike and movement could change the outcome. All these elements combine to create intense clashes, where both species' survival is tested to the limit.
He's going down the bank.
On the roadside, a grizzly bear slowly crosses the path. As it reaches the other side, it charges down the grassy slope toward a group of bison lying there. However, seeing the large number of bison, the grizzly bear backs off and abandons its attack. On the grassy hill, a bison spots the grizzly bear from a distance and immediately charges toward it. As the grizzly bear notices, it begins to run toward the bison, but quickly turns away upon seeing the bison's aggression. The chase ensues, but the grizzly runs faster, eventually cutting off and driving the bison away. The mountain lion, one of the most mysterious and legendary big cats, stands out for its speed and cunning in hunting. With incredible strength, they can face most foes in the wild, but when confronted with a grizzly bear, everything changes. The grizzly bear, with its massive size and brutal strength, is an opponent that even the mountain lion must be wary of. The encounters between these two species are breathtaking battles, where each species' survival instincts are fully displayed. The mountain lion, with its ability to target and strike swiftly, seems to make the grizzly bear step back. However, the grizzly bear is not easily defeated, with its superior strength and resilience in every confrontation. These encounters are a testament to the harsh wild life where only the strongest survive. A mountain lion wandered down the slope, its eyes glancing back as if something was following it. After descending the slope, the mountain lion stood quietly looking up at the hill, when suddenly a grizzly bear appeared, lurking under the trees. The mountain lion calmly observed before lying down to rest. But as soon as it lay down, the grizzly bear immediately moved towards the slope, causing the mountain lion to panic and flee. A mother mountain lion was playing with her cubs at the top of the mountain when it seemed to catch the scent of an intruder. Immediately, the mountain lion moved her cubs to a safe spot and turned to face the massive grizzly bear that was approaching, ready to protect her young. The two animals clashed in an attack under the fearful gaze of the mountain lion cubs, growling and threatening each other until finally the grizzly bear walked away, leaving peace for the mountain lion and her cubs. Wolves, with their wild nature and incredible hunting coordination, are always resilient warriors in the natural world. Though much smaller than the grizzly bear, wolves fearlessly face these massive bears in intense battles. The encounters between wolves and grizzly bears are fierce and unforgiving, where wolves use their speed and the collective intelligence of the pack to find ways to deal with the grizzly bear's superior strength. Although the grizzly bear is powerful, wolves always know how to seize any opportunity to strike, making these confrontations incredibly dramatic and hard to believe. These encounters are a testament to the intense survival instincts and bravery in the wild. In the forest, a grizzly bear has discovered the carcass of a prey left behind by another animal. It approaches and begins to enjoy the meal prepared before it. Suddenly, from a distance, a pack of gray wolves, having caught the scent of the carcass, approaches. The wolves move closer to distract the grizzly bear and take over its meal. After several attempts to chase them off, the gray wolves, intimidated by the large and fearsome grizzly bear, are forced to run away, leaving the prey to the enemy. Two grizzly bears are resting after enjoying the meal they hunted down after a long day. From a distance, a pack of gray wolves approaches. Sensing the intruders, the two grizzly bears rise up to defend their meal. The gray wolves, outnumbering the bears, attempt to distract them, but because they are so small compared to the mighty bears, they struggle and fail to overcome them. In the end, the pack of wolves is forced to surrender to the giant foes and leave the meal behind. On the meadow, a grizzly bear spots two wolves from a distance. Immediately, it charges over to investigate, but suddenly a pack of wolves rushes toward the grizzly bear. They surround the bear, leaving it with no escape. The wolves taunt and attack, causing the grizzly bear to spin around in confusion, trying to defend itself. After a brief struggle, the grizzly bear decides to flee. The reindeer, a proud symbol of the icy north, stands out not only for its majestic stature and magnificent antlers, but also for its dramatic confrontations with grizzlies. When the bear charges with terrifying force, the reindeer fights back with fierce strikes of its antlers and swift movements across the thick snow. The bear's roars mix with the clash of antlers, creating a scene of survival that is both brutal and majestic. In this frozen land, every chase and every clash feels like a battle for life itself. The courage and unyielding will of the reindeer turn these encounters into unbelievable moments of the wild. On the prairie, a herd of reindeer grazes peacefully until a grizzly suddenly charges, throwing the herd into chaos. In the confusion, a young calf is seized by the bear, but with just a moment's lapse, the grizzly loses its grip. The calf scrambles free and dashes back into the herd, escaping the predator's jaws, while the bear is left watching in frustration. On a lush green meadow, a herd of reindeer grazes, unaware, as a grizzly emerges at the edge. Sensing danger, the reindeer immediately sound the alarm, sending the herd fleeing. The grizzly gives chase, but the herd escapes in time. Only one calf, left behind and disoriented, fails to run. The bear lunges, bringing it down and tearing into it, turning the helpless calf into its next meal.